everyone, Steven from Straight Fire Picks. We got best bets for NBA on Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. We're going to have 3 picks that I think are great value bets for the Thursday NBA slate. Big day at the channel here, guys. We hit 2,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you all for your support. So you know what that means. We're going to be doing our parlay giveaway today. So we're going to have a parlay in this video that we think has a great shot to hit. And if it does hit, we're going to be giving it away all to you. All you got to do is be subscribed to the channel, like, and comment on the video to be eligible for those winnings. We'll also be giving away some t-shirts tonight at our live stream. We're going to be running a live stream at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be giving away 4 t-shirts. I'll be answering any questions that you guys have. So we'll give the t-shirts away at the end of the stream. I'll be entering names into a raffle as you comment on the video, that type of thing. So really looking forward to that. If you guys are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We've been growing here. We're on the road now to 3,000. But for this week, we'd like to get to 2,200 subscribers. We've really been growing. You guys have been absolutely unbelievable with the support. Be sure to check out our community Discord page as well. It's a great place to connect with our community. A lot of great things happen in our Discord, guys. You get some new ideas for bets, and it's just a lot of fun. So be sure to also drop your favorite pick down below in the comment section. We'd love to hear what you guys are playing today. If you like your pick included in our comment capper section, just be sure to put a star or an asterisk next to your pick, and we'll include your pick in the video if it hits. Okay, and now a quick shout out to our Straight Fire MVPs. You'll see we got that graphic running down the side with all our Straight Fire MVPs. Our newest MVPs from yesterday, Moses Lanos, Luis Antonio Chavez, and Ned Braden 30, adding to our growing list here. If you guys are interested in becoming a Straight Fire MVP, there is a join button down below. We'll also have a link in the comment section and in the description as well where you can check that out. Okay, now without further ado, let's get right into our results from the previous episode. So for our comment cappers, we had Jackson Manning calling the over 3.5 assists there on Terry Rozier. He finished with 4. So great cash there for Jackson Manning. As far as our stream results, we went 2-2. We did cool off a little bit. We've been on a 15-3 run. Still 17-5 in our last 7 episodes, but we did cool off a little bit with that 2-2. We were able to cash the over 221.5 points there in the Pacers game. Finished with 237, so we love to see that. Also cashed the Memphis Grizzlies minus 3.5 spread as well, and we missed our 2 player props. The one that really bothered me though was Lou Dort. We had the under 17.5, and he had 16 points after 4 quarters of play. And Luka Doncic basically let that game go to overtime. So easily could have cashed the under there, guys. It's a nasty beat on that. And Dort ended up scoring like 14 points in overtime. So we would have cashed it if Doncic didn't allow that layup. Literally just ridiculous watching that at the end, that the game-tying layup to force it to overtime. And we also missed on the Christian Wood over 10.5 rebounds. You know, they just didn't get any rebounds early as a team. I think the Rockets had like 2 rebounds in the first like 8 minutes of the game. And I was like, and I think he had 1 of them. And I'm like, what is going on here? You gotta get some rebounds, guys. What can you do, guys? We're going to get after it today. We're going to get this 3-0. We're also going to cash this parlay. That's the goal. So let's get right into our picks. At number 1, we are going with Gary Trent Jr. over 3.5 threes here for the Toronto Raptors at minus 108 odds. So Gary Trent Jr. is 6 out of 6 in his last 6 games to this line. He's scored 30 plus in 5 straight. So obviously we'd love to see that. Gary Trent's been on an absolute heater here lately. And he's taking on a Bulls team, which he already cashed against here a few games ago, you know, hitting 6 threes in that game there versus the Bulls. And lately, the Bulls have not been defending the 3-point line well at all. Obviously, no Alex Caruso, no Lonzo Ball on the perimeter, obviously hurting their perimeter defense here a bit. And the Bulls have been allowing 14.7 3-pointers in the last 6 games on average, which is above the league worst Charlotte Hornets, who allow 14.1 per game. So right now, they're not playing great defense at the 3-point line, which is obviously what I love to see. Trent Jr. in his last 4 games has cashed 3 out of 4 versus the Bulls in his last 4 games. So we'd love to see that as well. We know Gary Trent loves to shoot the 3. We know that's where a lot of his points come from. So, you know, I love the fact that he shoots about 10 plus threes a game. We're going to have a great chance here to cash on this. I just think it's great value still for a guy that's been absolutely hot. So we're going to ride this train. We're going to cash out today. Hoping we could cash early. You know, we could easily cash this one in the first half, which is what I would love to see. So love it there, guys, for our number one pick. Gary Trent Jr. over 3.5 threes here for the Toronto Raptors at -108 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we are going with Devin Booker over 29.5 points here for the Phoenix Suns at -104 odds. So Booker has cashed this line in 6 of his last 10 games, and he's had 28 plus points in 3 of the losses to the line, 3 of the 4 losses. So he easily could have cashed, obviously, 9 out of 10. I love seeing a guy that's right there every time. So just about every game, he's right on the line, and he's drawing the best matchup here you can have in the NBA. The Atlanta Hawks allow the most points in the NBA to shooting guards, which we love seeing that. They allow the second highest field goal percentage as well. So they do not defend shooting guards well at all. Very well documented there. And Booker in his career has cashed in 3 of his last 4 games versus the Atlanta Hawks as well, averaging 32 points per game per contest in those games. Booker also averages 4.5 more points on the road this season at 27.8 points per game. But obviously this matchup really is what puts us up over the top. And Jay Crowder and DeAndre Ayton, who are listed as probable, they should play, still working their way back into the lineup, right? So even with those guys returning last game, Booker put up 35 points last game versus the Nets. So obviously still love to see that. Booker has cashed his last 2 games in Atlanta as well, 2-0 in Atlanta, averaging 34.5 points per game in those 2 games. So obviously love to see that. He's averaging 37.3 points per game in his last 10 games in the wins. So in those 6 wins we talked about, he's averaging 37.3. So I like the idea that he can get in the mid-30s and, you know, cash this line comfortably, which is really what I'm hoping for. We don't want this to be like at 30 and have to sweat this out. So he can definitely clear this line. We've seen him absolutely explode lately in some first quarters. So love it there for our number 2 pick. Devin Booker over 29.5 points here for the Phoenix Suns at -104 odds. Okay, and finally at number 3, we are rolling with the over 218.5 points in the Miami Heat San Antonio Spurs game at -110 odds. So guys, overs and Spurs home games has been where it's at, and same with Heat road games. So the two combined, just absolutely terrific here. San Antonio Spurs are first in the NBA to hitting the overs at home. 18-8-1 to the over at home. Miami Heat road games, 19-9 to the over on the road. That's second in the NBA, and the Spurs are first as far as home. So obviously we'd love to see that. The Spurs score 114.3 points per game at home. The Miami Heat score 107.5 points per game on the road. The Spurs allow 113.8 points per game at home, and the Heat allow 106.3 points per game on the road. What I really like, though, recently, why this really jumps at me as well, the Heat defense really hasn't been playing well at all here recently. They've really been surprising me with how bad they've actually played lately. The Heat have allowed 117.5 points per game in the last 4 games. They're not playing great on that side of the ball, which is obviously what we like to see here. And obviously, the Spurs defensively haven't been playing great all year. Spurs have been just terrible, and they're terrible recently as well. Spurs are second worst in defensive efficiency here in the last 3 games. The Heat are 13th worst in the last 3 games in defensive efficiency. So obviously, we love seeing that. On the season, Spurs are 4th in pace. The Heat are 29th in pace, which averages out. So I don't mind seeing that. I just don't want to see 2 teams in the bottom half as far as pace. So Spurs get up and down the floor pretty quick. And this is like an average over-under, right? That 217 mark, 218 mark, it's about average here in the NBA for an over-under. And definitely with all these factors we have, definitely think this over hits. Now, the one thing we do have going against us here is 5 of the last 6 meetings here have hit the under. But the last meeting did hit the over, but the previous 5 before that hit the under. So it's the only thing we have working against us here, but I still don't mind seeing that. The factors are different here, guys. We have a lot of players also listed as questionable here for the Heat. So, it's like who plays, who doesn't. I don't think it really is going to matter too much, regardless if those players play, because we've seen those players play and they're still not playing great defense either way. So obviously, I love to see that, honestly. There's just a lot of things I really love about this bet, guys. So take it there for your number 3 pick. Over 218.5 points here in the Miami Heat San Antonio Spurs game at -110 odds. Okay, guys, now it's time for us to make way for the parlay. So this is our parlay giveaway, guys. We will be giving away all this money away to random subscribers here at the channel. Like I said, you just got to like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel. So like and comment on the video. Be subscribed. Special shout out to Gotta Get the Bag. He helped me put this parlay together. A lot of great research and work went into this. So special shout out to Gotta Get the Bag. Huge friend of the channel here. So really appreciate his help out with this. Obviously here, a lot of the picks that we have are from the video. We're just going the high end on some of these. Gary Trent Jr. to hit 5 threes. We laid out the research there on why I like that. And he's been on an absolute heater lately, obviously shooting the 3 balls. So we love that. The over there for Devin Booker, hitting the high end here on Booker at 35 points. Obviously, you know, it's a long shot for a reason, but there is a very solid chance that he could get up in this number. And obviously, if he does, the Suns are probably going to win. So obviously love seeing that. And obviously the over 218.5. We didn't even alternate that one. I just needed one extra pick to get the odds here. So I actually do love that. And, you know, the Bulls have won 5 straight here in the last 5 meetings between the Raptors and the Bulls. So obviously love seeing that. All of these factors hit. All these same game. As far as you see Trent Jr., the under, and the Bulls winning. All those factors hit the last time these two teams met. 111-105. The Bulls won. They're over the Raptors. The Gary Trent Jr. hit 6 threes in that game. So obviously, I love that, guys. There's a lot of things here working for us. I'm hoping that we could give this money away. I'm hoping that we can hit. So yeah, let's cash, guys. That is our parlay giveaway. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. Like I said, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel and that you like and comment on the video for a chance to win some of that loot. Some of the pie there. Be sure to also check us back here for our live stream. It's starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be giving away 4 t-shirts, answering any questions that you guys have. Would love to chat with you guys. May also do a example of the process I go through to find bets, if you guys are curious about that. So, other than that, guys, that is going to do it for me. Best of luck on your bets today. I hope we can all cash whatever we're playing. May also have an additional play later in the day. Probably not, but we may have one later in the day. We don't have a ton of lines out yet, so I'm comfortable with just the 3 plays as of right now. All right, guys, other than that, it's going to do it for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you back here next time. Peace out.